on a remote, forgotten planet, in the heart of an enormous scrapyard. Marcus Malone, a skilled human mechanic, spent his days among discarded shipwrecks and broken technology. The scrapyard stretched for miles, an industrial wasteland filled with the remnants of old ships and machines, some ancient and others barely functional. To most people, it was nothing more than a place for cheap labor and mundane repairs. But to Marcus, it was a treasure trove, a place where the discarded pieces of history waited to be brought back to life. Marcus had always been fascinated by technology. Growing up in a bustling colony on the edge of the galaxy, he had never known much about the more advanced worlds and their sophisticated spacecraft. However, once he set foot in the scrapyard, his life changed. His talent for fixing things, no matter how old, damaged, or broken, was what earned him a reputation among the scavengers. If there was a ship that needed fixing, Marcus was the one people called. But despite his expertise, he had never encountered anything like what he was about to find. It was a particularly quiet day. The sky above was a sickly orange, with the sun hidden behind the thick clouds of the planet's atmosphere. Marcus was sifting through a pile of old engines when something caught his eye. Buried beneath scrap metal and broken tools, he noticed a strange, iridescent sheen, a ship's hull, but unlike anything he had seen before. He crawled over the debris to get a closer look. The ship's exterior was sleek and organic, its metal undulating in a way that seemed to mimic scales. The craftsmanship was incredible. This was no ordinary spacecraft. His pulse quickened with excitement. "Where did you come from?" he muttered to himself. As he examined the ship more closely, he noticed strange markings etched into its surface, symbols and ancient writing that seemed to pulse faintly with energy. Marcus had seen many ships in his career, but this one felt different, like it was alive in a way that no other vessel had ever been. Curiosity piqued. Marcus began to inspect the ship's access panels, using his tools to pry open the damaged hatch. The ship groaned as if protesting the intrusion, but Marcus persisted. He had a reputation for getting things working, and this ship was no exception. After several minutes of fiddling with the controls, he managed to open the hatch and step inside. The interior was unlike any ship Marcus had ever been in. The walls were soft, almost fleshy, yet they hummed with a low, steady energy. The air was thick with the scent of ancient wood and something otherworldly. The cockpit was empty, save for a few scattered wires and malfunctioning screens. As Marcus stepped further into the vessel, he noticed something that made his heart skip a beat. There, lying in the corner of the ship, was a large, glowing egg. It was a deep blue color, shimmering faintly, and pulsating with the same energy that Marcus had seen in the ship's markings. Marcus's breath caught in his throat. The egg was unlike anything he had ever seen. It had the texture of a gemstone, but the weight of something far more fragile. As he carefully approached it, the ship gave another groan, and the egg responded by vibrating softly. Suddenly, a low rumble reverberated through the ship, and Marcus stumbled backward in surprise. The egg began to crack, its surface splintering open in a flash of light. A figure emerged, large and powerful, with gleaming scales and glowing eyes. It was a dragon. Marcus's heart raced. His first instinct was to run, but something about the dragon's gaze kept him rooted to the spot. The creature's eyes locked onto his, intelligent and calculating, but not threatening. The dragon's wings were sleek and angular, shimmering with the same iridescence as the ship. It was unlike anything Marcus had ever imagined, and for a moment the mechanic forgot to breathe. The dragon stood in front of him, towering but not menacing. It took a step closer, and Marcus realized the creature was not just alive, it was conscious. It was aware of him, and somehow it felt familiar, as if they had met before, though Marcus was sure he had never seen anything like this dragon. "I see you have found my ship," the dragon spoke, its voice echoing inside Marcus's mind. It wasn't a voice he had heard with his ears, but rather a sensation that vibrated through his very being. Marcus took a hesitant step back. You can talk," he stammered, his mind racing. He had heard of telepathic species, but nothing had prepared him for a dragon. "Yes," the dragon replied, lowering its head slightly, as if assessing him. "I am Drakther, the last of my kind. This ship, it was once mine, but I was forced to abandon it, stranded in this junkyard by the very ones who sought to destroy me." Marcus blinked in confusion. "Stranded? How long have you been here? And why are you? Why is your ship like this?" Drakther's gaze darkened. "I was hunted, for my kind were guardians of the ancient knowledge, the last living beings who held the power to control the elements of the universe. My ship is not just a vessel. It is my home, my sanctuary. And now, you have awakened it. The time is near." Marcus was still trying to process everything. "So, you're not from around here?" "No," Drakther said. "I come from a time long past, when the galaxy was ruled by my ancestors. I was forced into hiding after the war, seeking refuge in the forgotten corners of the universe. And here, I was left to die, abandoned by those I once protected." Marcus could hear the pain in the dragon's voice. But more than that, he felt the weight of the dragon's words. This wasn't just a creature in need of repair. It was a key to something far larger than Marcus could comprehend. "I don't know how to fix this," Marcus admitted, glancing at the ship. "I'm just a mechanic. I can repair engines, but this is beyond me." The dragon's eyes softened, and it slowly approached Marcus. "You have more skill than you know. You may not be a master of the stars, but you understand the heart of machines. And that is what is needed." Marcus's mind raced as he thought about the ship, its intricate technology, and the dragon's words. Slowly, over the course of days, he worked alongside Drakther. They repaired the ship's systems, the glowing energy core that powered it, and the dragon's own damaged components. It was clear that the ship, much like the dragon, was an ancient and mystical artifact, a fusion of organic and technological marvels. As the ship slowly came back to life, Marcus began to realize that this was no ordinary repair job. He wasn't just fixing a ship, he was helping a creature reconnect with its past, with its power. And as they worked together, a bond began to form between the mechanic and the dragon. One evening, as they finally brought the ship's engines online, Drakther turned to Marcus. "Thank you," he said simply. "You have not only restored my ship, but also my purpose. With this ship, I will rise again, and with it, I will reclaim my legacy." Marcus smiled, though he wasn't sure what the future held. He had come to this junkyard as a humble mechanic, expecting another routine job. But now, he was part of something far greater. Together, they had revived the ancient ship, and in doing so, had awakened a legacy that could change the galaxy. The ship, now fully functional, lifted off the ground, its sleek wings unfurling into the air. Marcus stood beside Drakther, watching as the dragon's ship ascended into the sky. Drakther looked at Marcus one last time. "You are welcome to join me, should you wish. The galaxy is vast, and the adventures ahead are many." Marcus glanced at the ship, his heart racing. It had been a wild, unexpected journey, but one thing was certain. His life would never be the same again. The mechanic had found not just an abandoned ship, but a purpose and the chance to help a dragon reclaim its destiny. And with that, they soared into the unknown side by side.